The Suburbs is the third studio album by the Canadian indie rock band Arcade Fire, released in August 2010. Coinciding with the announcement, the band released a limited edition 12-inch single containing 2 tracks from the album, The Suburbs, and Month of May. The album debuted at number 1 on the Irish Albums Chart, the UK Albums Chart, the US Billboard 200 chart, and the Canadian Albums Chart. It won Album of the Year at the 2011 Grammy Awards, Best International Album at the 2011 BRIT Awards, Album of the Year at the 2011 Juno Awards, and the 2011 Polaris Music Prize for Best Canadian Album. 2 weeks after winning Grammy's Album of the Year, the album jumped from number 52 to number 12 on the Billboard 200, the album's highest ranking since August 2010. Arcade Fire released a deluxe edition CD-DVD of The Suburbs on June 27, 2011. The American and Canadian versions were released on August 2, 2011, to coincide with the original album's anniversary. The new version included 2 brand new tracks recorded during The Suburbs album's sessions, an extended version of album track Wasted Hours, Spike Jonze's short film, Scenes from the Suburbs, and an 80-page booklet, as well as other exclusive content. Background: the album's lyrical content is inspired by band members Win and William Butler's upbringing in the Woodlands, Texas, a suburb of Houston. According to Win Butler, the album is neither a love letter to, nor an indictment of, the suburbs. It's a letter from the suburbs. The album was recorded in Win Butler and Ra copyright Gin Kazan's residence in Montreal, with some parts being recorded at the band's studio in Quebec and in New York City. Win Butler describes the overall sound of The Suburbs as a mix of Depeche Mode and Neil Young, stating that he wanted the album to sound like the bands that I heard when I was very young, and wondered what those crazy noises were. It was released by Merge Records in North America and by Mercury Records in the United Kingdom. The band pressed each completed song to a 12 cubed lacquer, then recorded it back for the digital master of the album. There are 8 alternative covers for the CD version of the album. Promotion: a video for Ready to Start was released on August 20, 2010, directed by Charlie Lightning and filmed at the band's July 7, 2010 concert at the Hackney Empire in London. On August 30, 2010, an interactive video was released for We Used to Wait at http://www.wildernessdowntown.com, written and directed by Chris Milk, designed in conjunction with Google Chrome, which makes use of Google Maps and Google Street View, and has been featured in Time's shortlist. Another music video, for the title track The Suburbs, was released on November 18, 2010, directed by Spike Jonze. The video, filmed in Austin, Texas, follows a group of teenagers living in the suburbs and features cameos by Win Butler and Gin Kazan as police officers. The music video is composed of excerpts from Jonze's short film, Scenes from the Suburbs, which debuted at the Berlin International Film Festival 2011, and has a running time of 30 minutes. Scenes from the Suburbs screened at the SXSW Film Festival 2011 and saw its online premiere on MUBI on June 27, 2011. Writing for the Canadian press, Nick Patch called the film a sci-fi puzzler that seems to blend the paranoia of Terry Gilliam films with the nostalgia of classic Steven Spielberg flicks. Critical reception: the album has garnered universal acclaim. Collating 43 reviews, the review aggregator website Metacritic gave the album an average score of 87. Writing for the BBC, Mike Diver wrote, "The Suburbs is Arcade Fire's most thrillingly engrossing chapter yet. A complex, captivating work that, several cycles down the line, retains the magic and mystery of that first tentative encounter." Referring to the critically acclaimed 1997 Radiohead album, Diver went on to say, "You could call it their OK Computer." Several reviewers compared the album favorably to Arcade Fire's earlier work. Rob Sheffield of Rolling Stone awarded the album 4 out of 5 stars and described The Suburbs as their fantastic third album. Ian Cohen of Pitchfork Media gave the album a rating of 8.6 out of 10, calling it a satisfying return to form, proof that Arcade Fire can still make grand statements without sounding like they're carrying the weight of the world. Noel Murray of the Avenue Club described the album as like one long sequel to the band's earliest single No Cars Go, giving it a rating of A. Having awarded the album 4.5 stars out of 5, David Marches's review in Spin describes the album as radiant with apocalyptic tension and grasping to sustain real bonds. It extends hungrily outward, recalling the dystopic miasma of William Gibson's sci-fi novels and Sonic Youth's guitar odysseys. Desperate to elude its own corrosive dread, it keeps moving, asking, looking, and making the promise that hope isn't just another spiritual cul-de-sac. NME's reviewer, Emily Mackay, awarded the album a score of 9 out of 10 and said, "They've judged their moment perfectly, and this deserves to be their automatic for the people. An album that combines mass accessibility with much greater ambition. Pretty much perfect, in other words a Euro, and despite their best efforts, listening to it feels just like coming home." The record was Album of the Month in Uncut, whose reviewer Alistair Mackay gave the album 4 stars out of 5, calling it a surprising record, swapping the spit and fire of Funeral for a sense of mature playfulness, and concluding that, it explores the badlands between safety and boredom. It's nostalgic, with a sense of future dread. There is pain and pleasure, loss and hope. It feels like the anesthetic is wearing off. The Suburbs was awarded Exclaim's #1 pop and rock album of 2010. Writer Andrea Warner summarized it as a perfect actualization of the suburbs as metaphor for the classic North American dream, a smoothly perfect veneer covering up the lush complexity of motivation. It's not just metaphor, but goes a step further to exemplify the quintessential Arcade Fire sound, a controlled frenzy, pushing and reaching for something more. The album was also included in the 2011 edition of the book 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. Awards and accolades. On June 16, 2011, the album was named as a long-listed nominee for the 2011 Polaris Music Prize. On July 6, The Suburbs was awarded a spot on the shortlist, making it one of 10 possible candidates to win $30,000 and the recognition as the Best Canadian Album of the Year as voted by jury of Canadian journalists and broadcasters. On September 19, 2011 it won the Polaris Music Prize. The album was Album of the Year at the Juno Awards and the 53rd Grammy Awards, over a nomination for Best Alternative Music Album, won Best International Album at the 2011 BRIT Awards and was also on numerous Best Albums of the Year lists. The single "Oe Ready to Start a" was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Rock Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal. Track listing: all songs written and composed by Sarah Neufeld, Richard Reed Parry, Jeremy Gara, Win Butler, Will Butler, Ra. Copyright Gin Kazan and Tim Kingsbury. Suburban War is the second-to-last track on the vinyl version of the album. In the deluxe edition, Wasted Hours is retitled as Wasted Hours, and features an extended ending. The track length goes to 4:26. Initial copies of the album sold by selected independent music stores came with an exclusive 7" single of Ready to Start with a postcard. Tracks 19 and 20 of the deluxe edition are downloadable bonus tracks from http://www.arcadefire.com/ redeemed using codes found inside the album sleeve. Charts and certifications, personnel. See also: List of #1 independent albums, references. External links: The Wilderness Downtown, Arcade Fire's interactive video for We Used to Wait, www.sprawl2.com. Arcade Fire's interactive video for Sprawl 2.